Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here is the description of how the other sons of Brahma were born one after another by his different bodily limbs. So here it is said, Utsangan Narado Jagne. Narada was born by Utsangat. Utsangat means by transcendental deliberation. Daksho Angushtat. Daksha was born from the thumb of Brahma. Swayambhuvaha. Swayambhuva means of Brahma. Pranad Vashishtaha Sanjato. From prana of Brahmaji, from the breathing of Brahmaji, Vashishta, sage Vashishta was born. Bhrugu Tvachi. Bhrugu was born from the touch of Brahmaji. Karat Krutuhu. The sage Krutu was born from the hands of Brahma. So in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining about how Narada was born from the best deliberation of Brahma, because Narada was able to deliver the Supreme Lord to anyone he liked. That is, the best intelligence, the best viveka, discrimination, and the best deliberation is to actually achieve the ultimate goal of life, the loving devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prema Pumartho Mahan. The greatest thing to be achieved by any kind of deliberation, by any kind of thinking, studying, whatever, finances, is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So from the best deliberation of Brahma, Narada was born, which signifies devotional service to the Lord as the best means to achieve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the final goal of our life. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. Narada was born from the best deliberation of Brahma. Why? Because Narada is able to deliver the Supreme Personality of Godhead to anyone he likes. In fact, Prabhupada explains the meaning of Narada. Nara means the Supreme Personality. Da means one who can deliver, one who can give. So he is called as Narada. He can give the Supreme Personality of Godhead to the living entities. In fact, Bhakti Vinod Thakur has also sung that song where he says, Amito Kangal. Actually, I am a pauper. I don't possess anything. In our conditional life, all of us are beggars, all of us are paupers. We are looking for favors from here and there, from different other living entities, from demigods, from society, from material objects. isn't it? We are looking for different favors. But actually, the only favor we should be looking out is the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But that favor can be delivered only by the pure devotee of the Lord. Krishna Dite Paro. So only a pure devotee of the Lord, he can deliver the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Narada also we can see here that he is able to deliver the Supreme Personality of Godhead to anyone he likes. Then Prabhupada also explains, one should not think that Supreme Personality of Godhead is like some commodity which can be delivered to anyone and everyone. It's not exactly like that. Narada can deliver the Supreme Personality of Godhead by making us a devotee of the Supreme Lord, by delivering us the Bhakti Lata, by delivering us the devotional creeper of the Supreme Lord. So that also we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains, Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Our devotional creeper doesn't begin without being installed, without being given in our heart by Guru and Krishna. By the mercy of spiritual master and Krishna alone, we can get that Bhakti Lata Bij in our heart. So, Narada can actually give us the devotional service of the Lord, and that is how we can attain the Supreme Personality of God. That is what we should understand. Otherwise, it is not that, by sometimes people think that spiritual master delivers God by some touch or something like that. Not like that. Spiritual master gives the process by which one can attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By following that process and by the mercy of the spiritual master and by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, one can attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is what it is being explained here. The Prabhupada also says here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be realized by any amount of Vedic knowledge or by any number of penances. But a pure devotee of the Lord like Narada can deliver the Supreme Lord by his goodwill. You see? So it's only by pure devotional service which can be given by a pure devotee like Narada, one can attain the Supreme Lord, not by some mental speculation, not by reading Vedic literature, not by undergoing penances, all these things. It is not possible. So that is what Prabhupada is explaining here. In other words, it is Narada only who can deliver the path of Bhakti Yoga, the highest mystic means for attainment of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while teaching to Sanatana Goswami, gives a very beautiful example that how the living entities, after separating from the Supreme Lord, are rotting in this material world in many, many millions of species of life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started explaining the varieties of species of life, how different kinds of species are there in water, on earth, in air, in fire, in different brahmandas. The living entities are going from one species of life to another species of life. In the repeated Kala Chakra of birth and death, they are repeatedly suffering the miseries, threefold miseries of material world, material nature. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was explaining this, he related one very wonderful example which is given by Madhvacharya in his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu related that very wonderful example, that how this living entity who is perpetually suffering like this, who is in poverty condition of life, but actually he belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how this living entity, this poor living entity, can actually get the real treasure house of Krishna Prema. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives that wonderful example. Once there was a great astrologer. That astrologer's name was Sarvagna. So this Sarvagna, this astrologer, he was going around. Then he went to one house. He saw that there is a poor man there. There is a poor Brahmana. So this poor man, he is, because of his poverty condition, because his situation is not economically good, he was suffering from varieties of miseries. Because of poverty, he was not having food, his health was not proper. Children are not able to eat proper, they are not able to get proper food. So, he was suffering from varieties of miseries because of his poverty condition of life. So, Sarvagna went there and he saw the horoscope of this person, because he was an astrologer. After seeing the horoscope of this poor man, Sarvagna was very astonished. He said, "You don't deserve to be in this suffering condition of life. You are not aware that actually your father was a very rich man. But your father, what he did, he has hidden all that treasure in a place, in your house. Unfortunately, you are not aware of that. Why you are not aware? Because your father, when he was traveling somewhere else, he died in an unknown place and he was not able to reveal to you this hidden treasure which he has kept for you. So that's why you are actually in a very poverty condition of life. But otherwise, you have so much of treasure for you." So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then explains what is this hidden treasure. Similar to this poor man who, because of his poverty, was suffering from all kinds of miseries. Just an example that how actually the person materially he is suffering. Why is he suffering materially? Because of not having money. His health is not proper, he is not able to eat properly, he is not able to take care of his family properly. So what did this astrologer do? He made him to understand that he has a connection with rich father. That rich father has left so much of treasure in his house. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains, similarly, the spiritual master, the Vedic literatures, they are that astrologer who inform us that actually we belong to that supreme wealthy father, Krishna, and he has left us with a hidden treasure that we will try to understand. What is that hidden treasure and how to obtain that hidden treasure? So once, just like this person gets that hidden treasure, all his material problems will be solved. Similarly, all the problems of the living entity which he is suffering because of not understanding his relation with that supreme wealthy father Krishna, all his problems can be over once that connection is established. Once he gets that wealth, then all his problems will be over. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that wealth is wealth of devotional service. That wealth is Krishna Prema. Once he attains that wealth, then all the problems of the living entity will be vanquished, will be finished. So how to attain that wealth? Then that astrologer starts informing this poor man. So he tells him, you see, as I can see in the horoscope, this hidden treasure is very difficult to be obtained from three sides. Don't try to dig on the southern side at all. If you dig on the southern side, there are poisonous wasps and drones. The moment you dig there, you will be baffled by them. You will not be able to reach that treasure house because you will be baffled by poisonous wasps and drones. So don't try there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains what is that. Prabhupada explains that. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his commentary explains about what is that wasp and drones. He says it is the wasp and drones of fruitive activities. This is called Karma Kanda portions in the Vedas. Do not try to find the Supreme Personality of Godhead through Karma Kanda portions in the Vedas. It will not be possible. You will become baffled. Your desires will never become fulfilled. Karma Kanda means by my karma, whatever is given in the Vedic literature, fruitive activities, we try to enjoy, go to the higher planets of life. But we will be baffled. Why we will be baffled? Because these desires can never be vanquished. These desires will take us from one species of life to another. And we will have to suffer in the hands of Yamaraj. You see? And we will go on repeating birth and death in varieties of species of life. So we will be baffled. We will never obtain that treasure house of bhakti. We will never be able to obtain the treasure house of Krishna Prema. So, the astrologer warned him, do not dig on the southern side. Then he said, do not dig on the western side also. Because from the western side, there is a yaksha, there is a evil spirit, there is a ghost who is protecting that treasure. You cannot even put your hand. You will be so much disturbed by that evil spirit. Your mind will be so much baffled by that. You see? So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains, this is meditational process by which one wants to attain Kaivalya. You see. Sorry, this is Jnana, not meditational process. Jnana process. It's a speculative process. So it is compared to the ghost which will create so much of mental disturbances. So, one cannot be happy, one cannot attain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One cannot attain the ultimate goal of life by following the process of this speculative jnana process. So that is also forbidden. Then the astrologer tells him, do not try it out even on the northern side. The northern side, there is a huge, big black snake which will devour you. So, Prabhupada gives the example. When the small snake is searching for food, even the small snake is sometimes devoured by a big python or a big huge snake. Isn't it? Similarly, those who are trying to search out for perfection, those who are trying to search out for happiness, because actually every living entity is searching for happiness. Those who try to search out happiness by the process of suicidal, meditational yoga, the goal of which is Kaivalya, to merge in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is like being devoured by big snake. That means they lose their life itself, being devoured. At least in other processes he is only afraid. Wasps are there, poisonous, all those things are there. But here, the person can be devoured completely. See, so Kaivalya narakayate. That's why Prabodhananda Saraswati says for a devotee, Kaivalya, to merge in the Supreme Personality, it is more worse than hellish condition of life. He will never desire that. See? So, the astrologer asked him not to dig even on the northern side or to try to understand the Supreme Lord, to attain His favor by meditational yoga, by merging in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even that is a suicidal process. And then he said, actually you should dig on the eastern side. That is the most easiest, sublime way of getting to that treasure house. Very easily you can go to that treasure, you can pick up that treasure. Otherwise, from all other sides, if you try to dig and get to that treasure, it is not possible. It's only from the eastern side. And that is the path of devotional service. So only by the path of devotional service, one can get the treasure of Krishna Prema. It's not possible by some meditational yoga. It is not possible by some kind of jnana, fruitive activities or penances, any such kind of process. One cannot get that treasure house of devotional service. And that treasure house of devotional service can be attained only by the association of pure devotees of the Lord. Otherwise it is not possible. In fact, even after obtaining the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, pure devotees always want the Sangha of pure devotees. It is not that now I have attained the Supreme Personality of Godhead, now my whole process is finished, nothing else is required. No. Just like we see in the example of Dhruva, even though he is seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, he is asking the Supreme Lord that kindly give me the association of your pure devotees. For it is only in the association of pure devotees I can relish devotional service. Devotional service is a means to attain the Supreme Lord, but devotional service cannot be relished without the association of pure devotees of the Lord. So, Dhruva Maharaj in his prayer, in his beautiful prayer, he prays to the Supreme Lord, kindly give me the association of your pure devotees, in whose association I can relish the transcendental devotional service which is performed to you. So we'll see, that is what Prabhupada is saying in today's purport, that a pure devotee like Narada, they can deliver the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise it is not possible to get the mercy of the Supreme Lord without the mercy of the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. So Dhruva Maharaj says, Bhaktim muhu prahavatam tvai me prasango bhuyad ananta mahatam amalashayanam ye nanjasolbanam uruvyasanam bhavabdin Nese bhavad guna kathamritapanamattaha. He says, Bhaktim muhu prahavatam tvai me prasango. He is saying, my dear Lord, I want to associate very intimately with those devotees who constantly perform devotional service to your lotus feet. Bhaktim muhuhu. Muhuhu means without any halt, constantly, without any stoppage. You see, because generally what happens, those who are not pure devotees, those who are mixed devotees, their devotion extends to the point till they are materially happy, isn't it? Just like in today's conversation also, we were reading, Prabhupada is saying, what does he say? Anybody remembers? One very important point Prabhupada said in today's conversation. Prabhupada? Bhagavatam. Prabhupada said when the devotee cited that actually people take to God consciousness in distress. Prabhupada said only if they could continue that even in happiness, then it is very good. You see, people generally when they are in distress condition of life, they take, and after distress is over, they give up. So it is conditional. It is not constant. It is defined by some kind of circumstances people may take to devotional service, and they will stop performing devotional service. Constantly is different. So the pure devotees of the Lord, they perform constantly. The example is given. It is just like the river flows constantly. So their devotional service is like this. Bhaktim muhu prahavatam. Prahavatam means flows of those who perform this devotional service which flows constantly. How? Tvai me prasango, in intimate association of Bhatam, pure devotees. You see. So, in association of Bhatam, in association of pure devotee, Prasanga means in association. In whose association? Mahatam, pure devotees. Why? Because their devotion flows constantly towards the feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he says, who are those pure devotees? Bhuyat Ananta Mahatam Amalashayana. O unlimited Lord, Ananta, O Ananta, their devotional service is completely on the platform of purity. Amala Shayana, they have no mala. Their consciousness is completely pure. You see. So Prabhupada translates, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly as the waves of river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in uncontaminated state of life. Then, what happens in association of devotees? What are we going to achieve in association of devotees? Because somebody may think, okay, very nice, you are saying I want association of pure devotees, you will be very happy in association of pure devotees, you are going to be very happy. Isn't it? But what are you going to achieve by that? So he says, Yena anjasaha ulbanam uruvyasnam bhavabdhim neshe. Neshe means, he says, in the association of these pure devotees, neshe means, I will cross over. What will you cross over? Bhavabdhim. This material world which is considered to be like a great ocean, which is like a big ocean of repeated birth and death, I will cross over in their association. What is this material ocean? Is it a simple ocean? It says, Yena anjasa ulbanam uruvyasnam. Terrible. You see, the word which is used is ulbanam, means terrible. How terrible? Greatly terrible. Uru. Very greatly terrible material ocean. How will you cross over? You will also cross over with lot of difficulty? No. Not with difficulty. Anjasa. Anjasa means very easily I will cross over this repeated birth of death of material ocean. So, what happens when one crosses over this material ocean? When one hears Krishna Katha in the association of such pure devotees, one can actually taste the real nectar of eternal life. Then only one can taste the nectar of eternal life. That also Prabhupada explains. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross over the Nishant ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing fire-like danger. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes, which are eternally existent. You see, so Prabhupada in the purport Very beautiful thing he explains. After that, we will stop. The significant point in Dhruva Maharaj's statement is that he wanted association of pure devotees. So Prabhupada is saying the most significant thing in his prayer is he is wanting association of pure devotees. Why he wants? That Prabhupada explains. Transcendental devotional service cannot be complete, cannot be relishable without association of devotees. It's very important for all of us to understand. Sometimes we think, let me go out, I can also practice devotional service. Why do I require? I can practice in my house. I don't require association of devotees. No. You see, it's very important. You cannot relish, neither you can relish, neither your devotional service can become completed without association of devotees. Then Prabhupada is saying, that is why we have established International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Anyone who is trying to be aloof from this Krishna conscious society and yet engage in Krishna consciousness is living in great hallucination, for this is not possible. So anybody who is thinking without association of devotee, I can still get Krishna consciousness, he is living in great hallucination. From this statement by Dhruva Maharaj, it is clear, unless one is associated with devotees, his devotional service does not mature. We may begin devotional service, it will never become mature. Another thing Prabhupada explains, it does not become distinct from material activities. It will not be distinct from material activities. We will be thinking, actually we will be doing material activities. And we will be thinking, I am performing devotional service. It is only in the association of devotees we will be able to distinguish material activities from devotional service or spiritual activities. And it is only in the association of devotees we can relish devotional service, and gradually our devotional service will become mature. Prabhupada explains that actually devotional service under the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master, which begins with sadhana bhakti, it is like an unripe mango, and gradually when the mango becomes mature, when the mango becomes ripened, then actually we can really taste the taste of mango. Similarly, maybe in the unripe stage, even though it is also devotional service, just like ripe or unripe, mango is mango, only it becomes more relishable. Similarly, in the association of devotees, when our bhakti becomes mature, then we will be able to relish that devotional service. We'll stop with this. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.